Hello, everyone. I am Fyruz Khan, and today I'm back with a brand new class. If you haven't liked our page, just type in Fyruz Education Services on our, on Facebook, and like our page because we post really educative videos every day. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and enjoy our free videos. All our videos are synchronized in a playlist, and it's quite easy to find. Do not hesitate to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Um, let's wait for some students to join, and we shall start the lesson as soon as possible. Okay. So let's start with it. So what you see is my personal budget. Okay. So every month, my budget for my rent is £1,000. Okay, which is like 1 lakh taka. For phone, I want to spend or I intend to spend £54. For electricity, £44. For petrol, £22. For water and sewer, £8. These are my budgets. Actually, I spent this much. Here is the actual cost. Just look at my cursor. For mortgage, I've spent £1,000. My budget was 1,000 and I spent 1,000. For phone, my budget was £54. I spent, at the end of the day, I spent £100, which is almost double. The difference is £46. Whenever you're doing a budget, your budget should be near to your actual cost. If there's a lot of difference, if there's a lot of variance, that means you're not a good manager. That means you could not predict it properly. So the difference is a lot. So find out, why is the difference? Why is it a lot? Did you make international phone calls? Were you traveling? Was your roaming on? All those stuff. For electricity, my budget was £44 and I spent £56. The difference is £12 only. So this is my budget, and this is what I've actually spent. Okay. Um, my projected monthly income was £4,600, and I ended up, having a monthly income of £4,300. Okay. There we go. Um, so whatever I have predicted, the actual difference was £41. That's not too bad. So whenever you're making a budget, you have a budget and then you spend something, I mean, the actual cost, then you have the actual cost. The difference cannot be a lot, right? So budgets can be used everywhere for everyday use, personal budgeting, and of course, for big companies, small companies, budgets are so important, right? So this part is the budget. Okay, what I predict um, to spend. This is the actual cost. Okay, so budgets are quite important for personal use, for big businesses. Budget is a detailed financial plan uh, for the future time period, and it is required. We all make a budget. Budget is a very common word. Whenever you want to buy something, whenever you want to spend something, you have an amount in your head. Okay, I'm not going to spend more than 2,000 taka on my dinner or on my lunch or on this place or on this phone. So budgets are quite important. It helps you, it restricts you to minimize your spending or control your spending. Okay, so yeah, think about Xbox, think about Microsoft, such a big company, such a big organization. um, so Microsoft Xbox, or Microsoft as a company, they are at 550 locations in 93 countries. So is it possible for them to operate without a budget, without a detailed financial plan? They have to pay their wages, they have raw material costs, they have to make the product, they have so many departments and so forth. It does not stop. So budget is so important for an individual like me, for personal budgeting, for big companies, for small companies. This is a picture of me in front of my university. Uh, I'm wearing a jeans. It's a Levi's jeans, Levi's or Levis, in whatever way you call it. Now, Levi's is in was founded in 1853, and they have 2,800 stores. Now, think about Levi's operating without a budget. Okay, they also have a budget that they intend to spend, let's say, $10 million on salaries, $50 million on products, and this much of amount on this. Without a budget, it is impossible to control such a big business. Not only big businesses, even small businesses should have a budget. Okay, otherwise you may not be able to control your finance. Okay. um there we go. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment down on the comment section. Okay. So, budgets, the main advantages of budgeting is planning. It helps you to think forward. Remember, I showed you this personal budget of mine. Okay, I have this mortgage to pay or rent to pay for £1,000. So it helps you to prepare for the future because you know you have to pay your rent. You know you have to pay your phone bills. You know you have to pay electricity bills. So it helps you to prepare for the future, plan for the future, right? So planning, it helps you to think about realistic targets. It helps you to be at reality. Okay. And then the second advantage is that it helps you to effectively allocate resources, because think about a big company like Levi's, or think about a big company like Microsoft. They have so many departments, they have so many things to do. So it helps you to allocate resources. Okay, this much of money will go here, this much of money will go in this department. I'm going to spend this much of money here. It depends on priorities. Okay, like for example, now my priority is to update my car papers, right? So instead of spending anywhere, I'm going to spend money on my car papers. So yeah, there we go. um Sorry, the camera got stuck. So yeah, it depends on priorities. So as I was saying, so now I really need to update my car papers. So instead of spending in somewhere else, I'm going to extend my vehicle papers. So think about priority and then spend your resources. So it helps you to think about how to effectively divide your resources. It thinks about priorities. Right. Then it also helps you to think about the targets, setting targets to be achieved. So whenever you have target, you're efficient, you're good, and you have a purpose to work towards too. Like if you have that, okay, I'm going to spend only $300 or £300, or let's say 5,000 taka on food. It's a target. Okay, it motivates you, and targets should be there in each department. Now think about a Pizza Hut branch in Dhanmondi. Now they have a budget, and that budget should be controlled by the manager of Pizza Hut Dhanmondi. He should decide, he should make the budget, he should decide, he should review, he should monitor, he should control. One person should do it. And in that way, also, he will be motivated a lot, right? Because he has the power, he has the authority, right? He's taking decisions, he's reviewing the budget, he's monitoring the budget, he's controlling the budget. So there you go. So that's how it should be done, right? And coordination is so important. It helps you to coordinate activities, because think about one thing. Business does not have only one department. Business has five, six, seven, eight, nine, 10 departments in big businesses. And all these departments, separate departments, they don't function separately. Yes, they are separate departments, but they are interlinked, intertwined with each other. Okay? So it is very important to coordinate activities, to talk to each other, to discuss with each other. If you are taking any decisions, you need to consult with other departments, because all the departments in a business are interlinked with one another. And we will talk about this more, you know, in the forthcoming slides. So, yeah, there you go. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to comment down on the comment section. Um, I think I have some questions coming. Just give me 1 minute. I just want to check. Uh, right, let's go ahead. Next up, we have monitoring and controlling. So when you have a budget, it helps you to monitor, it helps you to control. Okay, my budget was £1,000, but I've spent £1,200. Like if you remember my budget in the beginning, my phone bill's budget was £54, but I ended up spending £100. So I ended up spending a lot more than what I was supposed to. So you can go back, you can monitor, you can see what you did, why you did it. You can control it from the next month. Okay, why did you overspend? What was wrong, or what did you do? What are the measures that needs to be taken not to overspend? So monitoring and controlling. And then of course in businesses nothing works at one go. You may have to modify your budgets, you may have to modify things. Sometimes a budget may be unrealistic, or probably you may not have thought about some things. Okay, so you may have to modify it. um, so think about that, right? And then you have measuring and assessing performance. Measure performance, assess performance. Look at what was the difference. Okay, your main budget was you wanted to spend £1,000 on rents, and you ended up spending £1,100. See the difference. Why it was more, why it was less. What are the qualitative reasons or quantitative reasons? You can look at that. Okay. Um, these are the advantages of setting budgets, and we will go through it once again just to have a look. It helps you to plan, it helps you to effectively allocate resources according to priorities. That's number two. Number three is it helps you to set targets. When you have targets, you're motivated, you work more productively, more efficiently, and then you it helps in coordination. It helps all the departments to work together in tandem. Okay, because business does not work separately, it has many departments inside one business, and all those businesses are interlinked with each other. They're all connected to each other. And then it helps you to monitor and control, modify. If you have to modify last minute changes, probably you may not have thought through some things. Okay, and then it helps you to measure and assess performance. Okay, why did this happen, or what did I do wrong? All those things. So yeah, if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to comment down on the comment section. um, the uh, the class is going really great. Let's go ahead. So next up, I would like you to think about one thing. When we talk about forecast, forecast means prediction. Prediction based on external situation, based on the situation right now. For example, we had pandemic in March. So my prediction for November and December and January, February, the sales for November, December, January, February was very low because we had pandemic. So I'm looking at external situation, external environment. It may be because of pandemic, it may be because of recession. So that is forecast, results based on the situation and external environment, right? But forecast is not a budget. Budget is individual goals or business goals set by individuals or businesses, what you want to achieve. Let's say the budget for making a bridge is 50 crores. So this budget is set by individuals or by businesses. Okay, it depends on what the business wants to achieve or what you want to achieve. So there's a huge difference between a budget and a forecast. So think about that. Okay, so budget is actually set by you, set by the company, set by the individuals, based on the businesses, based on what businesses wants to achieve. But forecast, it depends on the situation. You cannot take a decision based on what you want. You have to look at the environment, what's happening outside. Okay, so there you go. Um, Anything else? So a budget is not a forecast. Okay, budgets are plan what organizations wants to achieve, what they want to do in the future. So that is actually budget. So keep that in mind. Okay, there we go. And coordination between departments are so essential, are so important. Think about, let's say, the marketing department of a business wants to lower the cost and increase sales, which means you want to lower the price of this phone. When you lower this price of this phone, the demand will go up, and when demand goes up, the sales will increase, right? Let's say this is the objective of the marketing department. But on the other hand, because of pandemic, the production department is thinking that, let's reduce the output of this phone because people are not buying phones during pandemic, and let's get rid of some employees. So what you can see that these two objectives are very different to each other, and they're colliding with each other. They're conflicting each other. So there's a conflict. And this is why coordination is so necessary, because both of them wants to take a different route. Both these departments wants to take a different approach. But that cannot happen in a business. When you're working in a business, all departments has to be on the same page, right? So think about that. Marketing department wants to lower cost. When you lower cost, demand will increase. When demand increases, your sales will increase. But the production department is thinking of reducing output, and getting rid of employees. When you get rid of employees, how can you make more phones? So there's a conflict. So both this department needs to sit down together and resolve the conflict, reconcile, make a compromise, come to a mutual understanding. And that's what I mean by coordination of departments. So when you're creating a budget, let's say when the finance department makes the budget, you need to go across the marketing department, the administration department, operation department, and other department, distribution, and tell them about their budgets. Show them, because each department will have a budget. Now, if you make a budget for marketing and if the budget is low, marketing department will be upset because they may have a different objective. Let's say their objective for this pandemic season is to advertise a lot, and that's what a lot of brands are doing. They're advertising a lot, including us. So when you make a budget, you need to go across all departments and tell them that this is your budget. Are you good with it? If you want to change it, why do you want to change it? If it's okay or not. So that's coordination. Okay, so think about that. Um, and we've already talked about this, because when you're talking about budget, because each department will have a manager. For example, let's say iPhone SE will have a separate manager, okay, division manager. That manager should be able to make the budget for that department. He should be able to take decisions for that department, review, monitor, control. Because when one person is in charge, then that's good in a way, because then that person will be, answerable to any problems or any questions. And this also raises the motivation level of the manager, because that person is involved with budgeting right from ground zero till the end. Okay, so managers should be able to uh, make the budget, make decisions, review, control it. This will motivate them. This will give them a sense of ownership, sense of purpose. Okay, and then also they can be realistic, because within the department they know what's happening or what's not happening. Managers have a better view of the department. Okay, than directors and CEOs, because managers work on the ground level. They work with customers and employees. They are really aware of the numbers. Okay, so that's that. let's have a look. What else do we have? Yes. So, and then of course, the budget should be reviewed, and you can assess the performance of managers, because managers were involved in setting the budgets, reviewing it, controlling it. If budgets have not been achieved, then the manager may be in a problem, right? All departments, all businesses have managers, and they have a budget, they have a target, and managers work really hard to achieve those targets, salespeople, especially. Okay. So you can assess the performance of managers. You can see if they have fulfilled their objectives or not. Okay. And the managers who does well, they can be appraised, they can be given promotion, they can be given more responsibility, they can be praised. So all those things can be done. Unsuccessful managers could be replaced. If someone who has not fulfilled the objective or criteria, they could be replaced, or they could be given more training, or they could be shown how things are done, right? So yeah, keep that in mind. Now, when you set a budget, there are several steps. There's 7 steps. Keep that in mind. The 7 steps, and I have made it very easy for students. So there is no reason to be scared of. The first thing, when you're setting a budget, the first thing is you have to look at your objective. What is your objective? What do you want to establish? And you want to do that based on your previous performance, how you've done in the past. Okay? Then look at external changes. Like, for example, if you have pandemic, then the situation is different. It's not a normal situation. If it's recession, it's not a normal situation. So think about that. If you have election, if you have an upcoming election, things are going to be different. So you have to keep that in mind when you are forecasting or when you're creating a budget. Um, then of course it is also based on sales forecast. So the first thing is establish your objective based on these 3 things: previous performance, external changes, and sales forecast. So the first step is to establish your objective. What do you want to achieve? What do you want to do? That's stage 1. Stage 2, what you have to do is look at the limiting factor. By limiting factor, I mean look at the most important step. When you do something, there may be a very important or critical step. Look at that, because if you can complete that critical step or that important step, then everything will be easy, right? So, and a lot of care and accuracy needs to be taken. For example, in budget, sales budget is very, very important. Okay, so you want to make sure that sales budget is done accurately, it's done before, it's done on time, so that you can complete the budget properly. Okay, so look at the important factor, the limiting factor, important step of the overall process. Okay, that depends, which depends on everything. Stage 3, you create the sales budget. Okay, in discussion with sales managers in all branches and divisions, you create that budget. Okay. Stage 4, you create other subsidiary budgets like cash budget, administration budget, labor cost budget, material cost budget, other additional budgets. Make that stage 4. Stage 5, what you do is coordinate all those budgets. And I've spoken about this. You have a budgetary committee, talk to everyone and see whether they approve it or not, whether they have any, let's say, any comments, any advices or suggestions. Go across all departments, because budgets are allocated for each department, and talk to them. Okay, so coordinate your budget. Stage 6, you prepare a master budget, okay, and statement of financial position. And then step 7 is finalize the master budget, present that master budget for the director's approval. So there are 7 steps in creating a budget, okay? And I have actually created a miniature version of that. All 7 steps are just written in one slides. You can take a screenshot if you want. This is actually quite helpful. Everything is minimized and done on one slide. So Stage one, you establish organizational objectives based on previous performance, sales forecast, external changes. Stage two, identify the most important job, limiting factor, critical job. Stage three, sales budget is prepared. Stage four, other subsidiary budgets are prepared. Stage five, these budgets are coordinated with everyone, discussed with everyone. Stage six, a master budget is prepared. Stage seven, the master budget is presented. Okay, so all the 7 steps are combined in one slides. So this is quite helpful for students because in the book it's quite long. So I have minimized it for you. If you want to quickly revise it, you can. Okay, there you go. If you have any questions, please do let me know. We're done with the chapter. And today I have started a new chapter because this is quite an important one. We have a little bit left from the last chapter. We will complete that, in the following classes. You don't need to worry about that. Let's finish this chapter first because this is quite important, and then we will do marginal costing. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to comment down on the comment section. Okay. Do not hesitate to like our page on Facebook. Type in Fyruz Education Services. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have plenty of videos. We've just uploaded more 14 or 15 videos. So altogether, we have 75 videos on our library. Okay, so subscribe to our channel. Thank you very much. I'll take your leave and I will be back very soon.